in it this week. Voice Up with Kobe Sincere. We're gonna wait for the people to come in. Set up the podcast. This week, we're gonna be talking about something super impactful on the whole community. I promise you. If you're coming on in, I'm telling you to drop in and stay in. Because if you have had conversations about love languages, this week we're gonna talk about apology languages. All right? Yes, there's a such thing as apology languages. So you know that there's ways that you want to be loved. That's what love languages are all about. But what about the way we apologize? All right? Like I said, I'm going to wait for the people to come on in, set up the podcast, and we're going to be ready to go. Let's get it. Hey, Glow's in the building. What's up, man? Just coming in. Start sending those, send all that love to somebody you know. Tell them I'm on. We about to get it popping. It's going to be a great conversation. Trust and believe. All right, send it through. So much to talk about. If you didn't catch it, we're going to talk about apology languages tonight. So you know we got the love languages. We're going to talk about apology languages. Still waiting for the people to come in. They don't come in, I'm going to start the thing over and get it right back. All right? Even if it's just me coming there. All right, we get some people coming in. Because all you know, I lead talk to even one or two people. But the people have spoken, so we are talking about apology languages tonight. Apology languages tonight. All right. So first, you know I gotta go show love. Anybody that's bought the book, if you haven't seen it, please go get it. Love Through My Eyes, Sincere. It is on Amazon. Go pick that up. Hello. Come through. What else? Please go follow my page, my business page, Future Leaders and Innovators on IG. You know, we're all about promoting Black entrepreneurship and connecting Black businesses. So if you got something on your own, please go over there, add me, and we're going to start recreating this new Black Wall Street. I promise you. What else? Oh, because the people have spoken and they actually chose today's or tonight's topic on apology languages, I actually did a quick, short 20-minute podcast. You could catch it on Spotify, and it's specifically about triggers. All right, it's specifically about triggers. So even if we're gonna be talking about apology languages tonight, I actually did a 20-minute podcast. You could catch it on Spotify, a lot of the major podcasts. You want to download it on triggers. Again, you just look it up on the major podcast apps as Voice Up with Kobe Sincere, and you'll be able to find the podcast on triggers. I'm pinning tonight's discussion. Give me a second, and we jumping in, yo. All right. So check this out. First of all, glad you come through, have this conversation with me. Please put your comments in. This is something we talk about. Yes, I'm here to give you some knowledge. Yes, I'm here to give you a little bit of extra help with around this topic, but it's nothing without you. So if I do say something, drop it in the comments. Let me know what's up. Let me know what you're thinking. And if by the end, somebody's feeling super brave and they want to talk about a particular situation, scenario, questions and answers, questions for Kobe, if you will, definitely before the last 15 minutes before the live is up, request me and I'll definitely let you on. All right. Like I said, tonight, it's apology languages. If you are unfamiliar with apology languages, you can look it up. There is research behind it. There is some real big psychologists who have done most recent work behind it. We are definitely, because I'm a life coach, I'm taking a lot of the research putting in through my own training and doing it through the lens of that life coach. All right. So you are familiar with love languages. My friend T, who just came up in here, she's definitely the queen of love language. She just did a podcast, T with T. Check out her latest podcast on love languages. All right, but we're not talking about love languages, we're talking about apology languages. All right, what's good, Hazel? Good to see you, bro. All right, apology languages. And you know that love languages are about communicating how you want to be loved, right? Well, apology languages are specifically the same way, except you communicating how you want to be apologized to or how you want to apologize. Think about that for a second. If you've been having arguments with, it doesn't even really matter whether it's your boss, your mate, your partner, your siblings, friends, parents, anybody that you have had argument, right? Anyone you had an argument with, there's a certain type of way that some people like to be apologized to, right? Or there's some way that you might actually be comfortable apologizing to other people, right? But think about it, just like love languages, if we get our wires crossed and we are trying to love somebody in a way that they're not actually best fit, that they feel comfortable being loved, it's not going to work together, right? So it's the same with apologies, all right? And I'm going to jump into the levels of apologies about, there's 5 of them, all right? 5 big ones, all right? So I'm going to jump right in really. So first thing, I usually go to Google, check out, see what the people are saying, right? An apology definition was just a regretful acknowledgement of an offense or failure. Feel me? Offense or failure. So it's in the regret stage. So we're going to talk about that because that's in one of the first stages. All right. I'm going to actually pull it up too in a second. So, like I said, this does not just apply to relationships, all right? It applies to anybody in your life in a situation where you want to or be put in a situation to apologize. These are the things that you need to focus on. Now, if you are in a relationship, of course, that means it's utmost importance to pay that much closer attention, because think about the ways that we have gotten to arguments many a times in relationships. And you thought you were saying sorry. You might have been humble enough to lower, be all vulnerable and say sorry, apologize. You think you're doing it in the greatest way. And it might not have been their specific apology language. Are y'all feeling me on that? Right? I'm going to jump right into the first one. So if you don't got your pen and paper tonight, you better go get it, because this is stuff that you're going to have to go back and watch this video again if you're not writing it down. Okay, the first thing. Expressing regret. Number 1, expressing regret. That's a type of an apology. This is one of the simpler apologies, but I think it's most common because people do actually go through the ranks of doing it this way. But again, the lens that we're trying to understand it is that if you apologize like this to somebody else, it may not be their apology language, and there's going to be a conflict. So expressing regret, it just means that they apologize genuinely and speak specifically to the wrongdoing. All right, but this is all verbal, right? Everybody got that? This is all verbal. You're actually saying, I'm sorry for X, Y, Z. And I'll use an example and keep it rolling through the other apology languages. All right. Expressing regret sounds like, I'm sorry for not calling you back. All right. Now, even though they said they would, right? That's expressing regret. They're just saying what they're apologizing for, and it's very specific. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it over and over again. If I'm a person who feels most comfortable expressing regret, and I'm just using my verbal words to apologize to somebody, there are 4 other apology languages that it may conflict with, and the person may not be able to receive it in the best way because they don't want that verbal apology. Does everybody understand that? All right, we in there, we tapped in. I'm trying to get the people to understand tonight. We all here preaching a little bit, but we're gonna go right through it. Like I said, if you don't got your pen and paper, you're gonna have to watch this video again, but right now, write it down. The second apology language, number 2, second apology language. The second apology language is accepting responsibility. Feel me? Accepting responsibility. This means there are particular actions that are meeting your apology. Okay? Now, remember, I said in the first one with expressing regret, you're saying, I'm sorry for not calling you back, even though I said I would. Right? Now, if you're accepting responsibility, which is stage 2, all right, that means you're saying, I will call you back, right? And I'll make an effort to call you back. Because remember, you apologize about not calling back. So you're trying to make the effort to do it now, to fix it. And on another level, you might actually say, and I'll communicate to you if I can't call you back. That's a huge one. That's a huge one. T said, can we put them in the comments at the end for those that I missed them? Yo, listen, DM me. I got it in PDF format. I'm going to put it in the link too for questions. I'm going to send, if you need it, I'm going to send it to you. Free. All right, free 99. That's how we doing for the people, okay? So don't worry about that. And like playback, this is going to be on playback, but I'll send this stuff to anyone who asks for it, okay? All right, sorry. Get back on track. Accepting responsibility is number 2 as far as the apology languages. All right. I will call you back and I will make an effort to communicate if I can. So let's say the instance was a work situation, you with your partner, and 3 or 4 days in a row, you know, they text you, whatever, you call them, had to come off the phone and they said, my fault, I'm gonna call you back, but they never did. Right? For some people, that might be a little bit issue. If you are accepting responsibility, now, again, this is the big idea I need you to understand. If you're accepting responsibility, right? Let's say I'm the person that accepts responsibility and I say, I'm going to call you back. And matter of fact, I'm going to even text you to tell you if I can't call you back. There are 4 other apology languages. All right. Y'all with me tonight? There are 4 other apology languages. So even if I'm the person that likes, I'm going to accept responsibility. I'm going to tell her like, I'm going to call her back and I'm going to tell there's 4 other apology languages that may not fit with the way that effort or that action as far as an apology goes. All right. Folks be hating while I'm on lives. They love to call. Tell them, nah, we learning tonight. We growing tonight. Voice Up is on. Send them the link, man. Trying to tell you. All right. The other big word that was kind of connected to accepting responsibility stage 2 is just reconcile, right? Like a lot of times people say reconcile. Like you want to make right by your wrong. All right. So this stage is like actions that fit your apology. Got that? Actions that fit your apology. All right. We jumping in to apology language number 3. All right. I'm trying to speak slow because I'm like, people will text me. I see my text coming out like, slow down because I'm actually writing. That's what's up. Keep writing. I'm going to kind of restate them at the end again, but I just want to go through it just now because we on a lot of time. Restitution. All right. Say it with me. Restitution. All right. That just means that you, all right, this may actually have nothing to do with the apology. All right. So again, we went through first 2. The first 2 apology languages was expressing regret. You're saying sorry. Second, number 2 apology language was accepting responsibility, right? Accepting responsibility means if you have been a person to express regret, then now you're trying to follow up with an action that actually fixes what the issue was. Okay? The example that I gave was, I'm sorry I didn't call you back. That's expressing regret. Accepting responsibility is actually saying to somebody, hey, I'm sorry I didn't call you back, but next time I'm going to work on just making sure I call you back or at least text you and tell you that I can't right now. Okay? In restitution, I'm going to have to read this to you. May have nothing to do with the action. The overall idea of restitution is keeping your promises. All right, so let's think about that, people. This is a big one. I need y'all to stay with me on this because like we in college courses right now. If I'm the person that said, I'm sorry for not calling you back, right? let's say my person wasn't the person who their apology language, they don't receive verbal apologies. That's not something that makes them feel better, right? Okay, so let's say I tried to accept responsibility and I said, hey, I'm gonna make sure I call you back, such and such, like I'm gonna tell you if I can't either, right? But my person is not a person who has a strength in accepting responsibility as an apology language. Me telling them I'm gonna call it back is not gonna fix it. Because everybody got that. If you got that, show me some love in the comments. Like, I need y'all to know y'all with me tonight. Drop a star, a heart, something. Let me know what y'all hear. I know some people are writing, but this is really good stuff. All right. Now, restitution is, let's just say my partner got upset about my attempts to apologize. And I started off with a verbal apology, right? That step one, that expressing regret. And they kind of had their arms folded like, nah, nope, nope. All right. And number two, accepting responsibility. I told them, yo, I'm going to call you back. I promise. Like, I know I've said it before, but yo, next week, like when I'm at work, when I get my break, I'm really going to make an effort to call you. This number three apology language is restitution. Okay. But like I said, this is something that a person will do that may not have to do, or at first glance, it may not feel like it has anything to do with what they were asking you to fix. So I'm going back to the example. If I apologize verbally and I say I'm going to fix it with calling you back, restitution made the big idea is that your partner just might be mad that you're not keeping your promises. So if you say sorry and it's about restitution, a person who wants to receive a restitution type apology, somebody who wants to receive a restitution type apology, means they're going to fold their arms when you say it verbally. They're not going to receive it. You got that? If they're a restitution apology type of person, when you try to tell them how you fix it, they're going to have their arms folded. They're not going to hear it. A person who receives restitution type apology, that's their apology language, will look at you and be like, if they can communicate effectively, they'll say, I know you told me that you were going to call me, but that's not really what it is. What it is that lately I felt like you haven't been keeping your promises. Right? Again, they might accept the apology to a certain degree. You verbally saying, my bad, I ain't call you. But if they're a person that likes restitution apology, that means that they are literally sitting there thinking to themselves, that's cool, but I would rather you just show me as in general that you can keep your promises. So from that point forward, they may not be looking for you to promise to them you're gonna keep calling, or you're gonna keep to your promise of calling when like you have originally promised. It might have something to do with something later, right? They might just see, okay, I know now he not calling, and next week, he kept saying we're gonna go out on the weekend. We're gonna go out on the weekend, and we didn't go out on the weekend. Now your partner is looking at you kind of crazy because they're like, man, like he said sorry, and he knows that I'm a person that likes restitution type apologies, that he's gonna keep his promises in another way. Man, we learning tonight. I hope y'all writing down. I hope y'all writing this stuff down. Before I even go to number 4 and 5, people who coming in, I'm gonna go back real quick and try to walk through these first 3 apology languages. The whole point of understanding apology languages, my people, is that just like love languages, you may have a certain way that you want somebody to apologize to you. And you might already feel comfortable apologizing in a certain way, but people you have dealt with don't receive it because that's not their apology language. And once again, it's not just relationships, it's family, job, anything. If these things kind of like I talked about a little earlier, like these things could be real life triggers. So if you don't pay attention close to it, you might actually trigger yourself on something really huge. All right. Now, you said they got to get the PDF. So you crazy. All right. So check this out real quick. Number 1 apology language, all right, is expressing regret. Think about that as like a verbal apology. I'm sorry for whatever it is. Expressing regret. I'm sorry for. Number 2, accepting responsibility. Now that actually might mean that you're telling a person, I was wrong, yo. I was wrong. I was wrong about that. And you place an action in front of the issue that was a problem, right? So if you said, I'm sorry, I didn't call you back, that was expressive regret. Accepting responsibility is saying, I'm going to go ahead and call you next week. Like, I'm going to just be on it. I'm going to do way better at that. Restitution apologies, or making restitution, right? Means that the person sees a bigger idea out of it and they're thinking, what can they do to make it right for me? Or if you're a person that is the apologizer, if you have restitution apology, like if you're using a restitution style apology, you're trying to think, or you're saying to your partner, what can I do to make it right? Again, this may have nothing to do with whatever the original issue was. It might have started out as something like you are talking or arguing about not calling me back, but for a person who is a receiver of restitution apology, they're just thinking, no, it's not about you calling me back. You ever heard that? Like, you ever got to arguments like, no, it's not about that. It's not about that. Like, they might actually be a person who has feels for restitution apology. You know what I'm saying? That honestly, that might be it. If a person gets so upset and they're trying to tell you, that's not what I mean. That's not going to make it better. Listen, you know what I'm saying? It might be communication where everything needs to be calm and have a real conversation. But at the same time, a type of person like that might actually be looking for a bigger picture. In this case, it's like, okay, they said they wasn't gonna call back. So hopefully next week when they promise to take me out, they keep that promise. Because I'm looking for them to keep their promises, not just about calling me back. All right, hope we learning. All right. We imitate y'all like that. Well, even my mother sound like that in my head. I'm sorry. You know, and I'm from Brooklyn, so you know, I grew up with girls saying Jordan without no D in the middle of the name. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like Jordan. Like, come on, man. I hear it in my head from years back. But Toya, you're throwing me off. Nah. Number 4. Y'all ready? All right. This may sound like a little religious or spiritual, but it's actually a real thing. Number 4 apology language is genuinely repenting. All right? Genuinely repenting. All right? If you are in this situation that we have kind of named throughout this part of the live, right? This is someone saying to you, I'll try not to do that again. But similar to accepting responsibility, which is stage number 2 or apology language number 2, and actually putting an action to fix it, right? Repenting, think about it this way. This is, if you're a person who's on the receiving end, right? You're the person being apologized to. You feel that you will actually, maybe some people are actually good at verbalizing this to people. You will say, if you want your partner to be a genuine repenter, you're saying, I don't necessarily care about this verbal apology. Like, I don't really care about like you trying to name something that you think I'm gonna like to fix it. Okay? Genuine repenting as an apology means you as a person communicating, you're telling them, just don't do that. Just don't do that. Right? As a person who you are like you're looking to receive the apology, you're telling them like, okay, I hear you trying to say sorry. I hear you trying to name something that sounds like it's going to fix the problem. I even hear you asking me, what can you do to make it right? The answer to all of that is, if my apology language is repent or repenting, I'm telling you, please just don't do that. Now, it might see a little far-fetched for our scenario about not calling you back, okay? But let's think about it in perspective as opposed to like a combative, right? If you're thinking about it in perspective, all right, get in there in perspective. If you're a person who wants somebody to genuinely repent, they might be looking for you to just kind of change the behavior. Like there's nothing else to it. Like if you're a person who is genuinely looking for your partner to repent as an apology language, you're just looking to the flat bottom line to change the behavior. Think about that, yo. Okay? Think about that for a second. These are the reasons and these are the things that have gotten people to get into arguments because they don't understand each other's apology language. Think about that for a second. I'm going to use the scenario again. If I am a man with my partner, my lady, my queen, and I made a mistake about not calling her back when I said I was going to call her back, that is expressing regret. But if she's not, that's not her apology language, she's not going to receive me just saying it. Everybody got that, okay? If I am a person who is showing that I'm accepting responsibility, that is the apology language number 2, right? Accepting responsibility. If I say, yo, I didn't call you back, but next week I'm on it. If my person, my queen, my partner, that's not her apology language, she's not going to receive me saying it or my follow-up. She's just not there, okay? Again, if I say I'm going to call her back and then I said, fine, like I get it, okay, and I decide to step into a restitution type apology language, that means that's 3, all right? That's number 3, restitution apology language. And I say to her, all right, what do you want me to do? What do you need me to do to fix this? Again, if she is a person who's looking for me to repent, genuinely repent, that's stage 4, okay? They won't hear me. They're gonna look at me crazy when I say, what can I do to make it better? Right? Their first response, and no disrespect to the relationship or to me, they're gonna say, I just don't want you to do that. Like, can you not promise me something and then just go back on it? Like that would actually make me feel better as a person. Okay, and that's okay. That might be her apology language. That might be something. That's how she will actually feel better. It won't be from me just saying, "I'm sorry, boo. Like, here's some flowers. Damn, you know, you want to go out to eat? What you want to eat? You want some Zaxby's, boo? You want some extra sauce? Like that's she. You know, again, it's still part of connected to your love languages as well. But you got to get through the apology before you can show them some love. Y'all ain't hear me tonight. You got to get through the apologies first before you can get back to the love languages. So if you're not paying close attention to the love languages, we're going to have a problem. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to pause for a second and go to the comments. I think there are levels to it. You can start at 1 or 2, says Toya. The language changes if the behavior doesn't. I get it. All right, queen. I don't know what that face means, but you got to build on that unless you're going to go live with me. Men always thinking food fix everything. It doesn't. Toya. It doesn't. Come on with that, man. I don't know anybody. I don't know any woman that's not mad at you. We're going to be a little bit less mad if I don't drop them 10 flat wings, have hot barbecue and lemon pepper. Wet. You feel me? Paper says, I actually don't know what I need you to do to make it better in that given scenario other than have answered the damn phone. So check that out though. That's actually accepting responsibility, Paper, right? So if you want them to apologize, the way you want them to apologize is to pick up the phone, right? Or like that's actually a real thing, right? Or in the case of genuinely repenting, if that's also a stage, right? That's number 4. Paper, like what I'm saying is if you got to communicate to your partner like, yo, I get it. You was busy, but if you want to change the behavior, like, and it's not going to be something that I need to tell you, I just don't want you to do that. Like, I'm cool with if you're going to pick up the phone, but don't make a promise and then don't follow up about it. Okay? Camille said, no, it doesn't. Food don't make it better. Okay. All right, going on. Food isn't the key to apologizing. See, I'm not going to go there because I know that. All right, and I'm not saying this is a conversation for good people. We trying to learn, trying to grow. But sometimes good food, a good deed could fix a situation for the moment. It may not be forever, but that's why we learning our love languages. I mean, our apology languages tonight. People, we got to stay on it. With paper says, with every version of apology you gave, I was still mad. Yo, listen, it's true though. But you got to understand. Okay, so I got two more, paper. I look, you hear your attitude to stank 2 times. All right, listen, and paper, listen. If I get through the other 2 apology languages and it's still not good for you, you can go to my website, sign up for my life coach sessions, and we could build on this and we do the work. That's what I'm trying to do right here. All right. But yeah, sorry. I was still kind of building off. Now I'm in the 4th one. I already went through the first 3. So like genuinely repenting is something, like I said, you try not to do it again. You're trying to confirm with your partner that like the verbal apology and all the other stuff don't work. So you're really just trying to change an action, and the person is telling you like, just don't do that, right? Just don't do that. You feel me? You already know, Toya plug. All right, last stage, and then I'm gonna ask people to like start talking to me about it. All right, requesting forgiveness. Now, it's not Kobe.com. You feel me? It's FLIA, FLIA, mentoring.com. You click on voice up coaching, you dig, you fill out the form. I'm on it. We get back to you in less than 24 hours. All right. Kobe.com. Ow. I love it. So yes, the last one is requesting forgiveness. Okay. Now, to all my G's in the room, I'm going to take a pause on this for a second. Requesting forgiveness is an actual apology language. Okay? You need to understand that. All right? This is a very humbling apology stage. Okay? Requesting forgiveness. All right? And that word is a very forgiving word, requesting forgiveness. This stage of apology, right? Or I'm gonna stop labeling that stages because it's really not stages. It's really just levels. Like it could be something different. Like just like the love languages, like you can be one or the other. You could be a combination of both, or you could be a combination of both on how you like to receive it. But requesting forgiveness means you actually verbalize to the person and you say the words, "Will you forgive me? Do you forgive me? Have you forgiven me?" All right. So all my G's in the room, I'm talking about ladies and gentlemen, like that's a truly humbling stage for you to be there as an apology language. But you have to level in some type of humility, you feel me? Like if you're going to like accept this as a stage, you have to understand that it may not be you, but your partner, the person that you're with, dating, married to, whatever, boss, whoever, just needs you to verbalize that you are, and this is the big part, I wrote it down, you're offering a vulnerable power exchange. I'm going to let that marinate for a second. I'm going to let you hear that again. If you are using a requesting forgiveness as an apology language, you are saying that the actual words, "Will you forgive me?" And not only are you saying that, but your purpose behind this stage is to actually allow the person who you're apologizing to, okay, feel as if there's an vulnerable power exchange. You're literally asking somebody, "Do you forgive me?" And in that moment, they feel the power of like, not only, now remember, there's other stages. So you might have said, "I'm sorry" to you with blue in the face. Just like the first apology language, which is expressing regret. You might say it verbally all day. You might text it, write a little note. But if the person you're dealing with is not a person who can receive that, because they rather you request forgiveness, that they rather you come up to them and say, "Do you forgive me? Like, is everything all right? You good?" Like, then that will actually help instead of hurting the situation. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all still talking about the food. I'm done with y'all. Um, ain't no amount of king crab legs in the world gonna fix the situation. All the legs. Don't tell me when I drop 4 pounds of king crown legs, we still arguing. If we still arguing after 4 pounds of king crown legs, it's over. It's done. Nah, I'm kidding. Don't do that. It's all about the good work. We ain't doing bad work tonight. But paper said that might be my language. Must be something to do with control. And look, that's a whole nother topic and conversation, paper. So look, if you feel, and this is something that you have to think about with your self-reflection, and like I said, if you really want that paperwork, I have it here and I can email it to you, and you just need to talk. I can call you, talk you through it, like the questions, because according to these 5 apology languages, there's a certain amount of questions that you need to ask yourself to figure out which true apology language you associate yourself with as an apologizer and as a receiver. Okay, so I could do the work. Okay, like just let me know, like hit me up. I got you. So again, people in the room, and I'm already running out of time. All right, I'm gonna go through these last 2 pieces. If I trigger something, let me know. Put it in the comments. If when I go back to just renaming all of it, I'm sorry I didn't pin it. I didn't have enough time. But we talking, so we learning tonight. I'm gonna try to put it back, and like I said, when I post it, I'm gonna throw it in there as well. These last 2 things. I hope you have your pen and paper ready. Okay, if you just coming in, you missed a lot, but you can replay this video later. This little thing right here is important. All right. As a forgiver, I'm gonna say this nice and slow and clear. If you're the person who's the forgiver, it is a danger to say it's okay. Y'all ain't hear me. I'm trying to tell you, trying to drop these gems. Hold on. And I'm going to tell you why, but I'm letting you write it down. If you're the forgiver, it's a danger to say it's okay. And I'm going to read off to where you say why, okay? 1, if you're a forgiver and you continue to say to your partner, it's okay, here's the first thing you do. Snowball your feelings. You'll keep rolling into it. If you ever been that person, right? Where you're like, all right, okay, thank you. All right, I forgive you. It's okay. And you roll over your emotions over and over, it snowballs. And then one small thing, man, they left their slippers in the living room, panties in the in the middle of the floor, and y'all arguing. Your feelings snowballed through that whole thing because you kept saying it's okay. Was it okay? Probably not. Y'all didn't have a conversation about it. You feel me? Stop saying it's okay, especially if it's not okay. All right. The second reason why there's a danger for a forgiver to say it's okay, right? You become discontent. Like you're actually not happy. Why are you not happy? You busting through your hormones of happiness because you're not dealing with an issue that's going to make you feel content. Like, oh, okay, yeah, we argued through that, but we got through it, right? You become discontent. Third reason why it's okay is not okay to say when you're a forgiver, it spoils the communication. You have now upset the boundaries where if you're the forgiver, you probably not going to say anything at that point after that, right? You ever been that person where you like, it's okay, and you literally said nothing? Or you did something else, or you changed the rooms, or you got off the phone, right? It's spoiling the communication. You're not able to get to that next level because you spoiled what that communication is supposed to feel like. All right? Yes, Queen, you already know. What else? Last reason I put for saying it's okay as a forgiver is not okay. It's because it redirects the blame or the offense. Okay? I need y'all to tell me, it redirects the blame or an offense. I'm going to give you an example real quick. All right? I see you. Oh man, Ash, that's crazy, but it's you reflecting, so I'm with you on it. Listen, it redirects the blame or offense. Have you ever been in a situation when after you've gotten to an argument or something and you're the person that kept saying okay, and then you got upset and then you brought up something that from before, and the person says, why you ain't tell me that last time? Like, I'm trying to preach to y'all tonight. Like, why you ain't telling me the last time? Like, yes. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to tell you, like, listen, this part right here is a lot of big arguments. Think about that for a second. The other stuff might be like, it might still be smaller because you're not content. There's snowball feelings. They're like rolling together, like little communication issues. But this one is actually a big one. It could turn into a big argument. You feel me? Like, this is a part where you get to a point, you snowball before you even say anything. You mention something that you didn't say was okay last time because you said it was okay. And now you over here talking about it and your partner's like, yo, why you ain't tell me last time? You said it was okay, so why you ain't do that? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to drop the gems on you. All right. I don't have a lot of time. I'm going to jump on this last part. And then if anybody willing to go live with me, talk to me, questions, I'm on it. I actually want to just open up questions for Cole because I got the answers. You know what I'm saying? I'm tell you, I'm going to go to this comment because you were faithful. All right, most women try to let things go to not be labeled a nag, then we blow all the way up. You literally just described like the it's okay problem, right? You don't want to get into that space to be like, it's not that big of a deal. Some people, and I'm gonna tell you exactly, sometimes it's not saying it. You don't have to say it's okay for it to be a problem. You could just act like it's okay. He ain't call me for 9 days straight. It's okay. It's no big deal. If it is, though, maybe it's not. But if it is, or even if it's slightly something, bring it up. Definitely a man will have that the center, or a woman will respect that situation more because you did verbalize it. Especially if you came off about it, being cool about it, but you're still mentioning to them that it was a problem. You understand what I mean? Queenie over here, light it up. Listen. Comments. If you say something more than once, it's definitely become like we're nagging. Let me explain something to you, and I'm gonna throw the men under the bus for a quick second. Yes, there is a sensibility to like nagging, but a lot of times it's like, and I'll use myself as an example. If I felt like I was being nagged, there's 3 options. I was actually being nagged. I didn't want to fix what they were talking about, or that conversation, I felt like it was something that I wanted to fix myself without you telling me. Okay? I hope you got that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope you got that. Like, I didn't want to, like, I was actually being nagged by you, like you were telling me too much. All right? Or you were telling me, like, I wanted to fix it myself. Right? Like, all this important stuff you have to remember when you feel like it, but speak up though, because you never know. Like, and I personally, I'm a believer of this. Like, if you have conversations about these things, it's going to help, man, when you learn how to like really communicate effectively. I promise you. You feel me? But yo, this last part, and like I said, I probably got maybe about 10 more minutes, man, if you want to jump on some other things. This is a good one. As an apologizer, you with me, people? If you are apologizing to your partner, this is one of my favorite drop of gems. I just did this one in a session the other day. If you are apologizing to someone, the dangers behind saying it's not that serious. I'm gonna wait for the people. Drop a closure, put your hand in your face emoji if you know you're guilty. It's not that serious. I could do it for myself. Like, I've said it. You feel me? There's dangers to the relationship, any relationship, family, partner, children, whatever, for you to constantly apologize with the statement, it's not that serious. All right? And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to drop the gems about why. I had a bunch, but I'm going to give you 3 of them, Johns, okay? First of all, it derails your partner's confidence and openness to communicate. I'm going to say that one more time. Okay? Derails your partner's confidence for openness to communicate. Think about that. If you keep saying it's not that serious, then they're always going to feel like that. So they're never going to tell you when something is wrong. Then we're back around to these apologies and love languages all messed up. All right? Y'all know what's chill with the jokes. We trying to learn tonight. Nah, I love it though. I love it. I'm going to get to this next one and I'm going to read the next comment. Actually, because y'all commented after this one, I'm going to go to the comments real quick. So we dropping some emojis like y'all know, like y'all said to somebody, it's not that serious. Chill out. Chill, B. Queen says, I know I don't tell people it ain't serious, but maybe I told myself that before, which is just as toxic, my queen. I love you too much not to tell you the truth. Telling yourself it's not that serious is just as toxic. Okay? Because you're literally it's setting yourself in this self-defeated stage to not have high expectations. Right? I'm going to tell you something that's not that serious. Losing a nickel. It's not that serious. You shouldn't be tearing your house up and down. Unless it was, some type of like family heirloom, right? Losing 5 cents. Now you drop 100 beans somewhere. Yeah, it's that serious. But if you tell yourself that, you're just literally trying to fake yourself out. You understand? And you think about a high expectations, like trying to tell yourself like $100 ain't really that important, but it really is to you. Okay? It's like it depends on each person. Shatoya said, get the strap, it's always that serious. I ain't even gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it on the live, I'll get in trouble. Shatoya says, if I express how your actions make me feel and you keep ignoring me, then you don't take me serious or our relationship. Now, that has some truth context to that. That definitely has some truth context to that. Okay? Meaning that especially if it's like habitual and it's something that's a pattern, right? But you a grown woman, you are very confident, you speak up, you know how to verbalize, communicate effectively. So there's nobody that should be coming into your circle that's like that, right? Because you're able to just say to them, yeah, I've told you a lot of different things. Matter of fact, I got these notes on my phone. Matter of fact, in my journal, I had wrote this the other day, and I've give you specific examples about how you just ignore the things that I tell you. And these that actually went. Now, it seems kind of crazy and overt, like what? Like people do that? Yo, why not? You're trying to prove a point, right? And if somebody, and that's when somebody might hit you with it's not that serious, right? It's not that serious. You ain't had to write it down like it's not that serious. Actually, it is that serious because every time we have this conversation, you negate and you avoid. All right. What about when they suppress a lot? Kobe trying to change his life. Listen, I'm trying to win my change. I wish I had some coins. Change your life. Matter of fact, I'm gonna reach over here real quick. Trying to tell the people what we talking about, Queen. Change your life. Change your life. Anytime I see somebody in here, dude, I'm dropping the change on the table. I don't care. All right. So the question from Miss Lee. What about when they suppress a lot? So I'm assuming that you mean your partner doesn't express their feelings. Can you type a little bit more on that? Give me like a specific example. And I'm going to go to this next bullet about being the apologizer and saying it's not too serious. All right. Now you're going to have to clean it up. Nah, that's what you got kids for. I'm trying to tell you. All right. If you are the apologizer and you continue to tell your mate or partner, friend, family, it's not that serious. The second thing you do as damage is project yourself as a conditional lover. I'm going to say that one more time. You project yourself as a conditional lover. What you're really saying to them when you keep saying it's not that serious is that it's not serious and I'll tell you when it is serious, which is a condition. You're telling your people, you're telling whoever you're dealing with that it's a condition. Like you're loving them. You're literally loving them conditionally. You're letting them know that it's not that serious, but I'll let you know when it is serious. And think about that kind of toxicity that you're building by telling your partner that or your family member that, or anybody, right? Last one for this, and we're going to jump right back into the comments for these last few minutes to talk to me. If you got questions, I'm on it. We're going to 5-minute fire off to asking me anything, and I'm going to jump on it. If you want to apologize, and you continue to say it's not that serious, it blocks you from becoming an effective communicator, especially with your own feelings. Kind of what Queen was saying, right? What she said earlier about saying it to yourself. If you keep saying it's not that, if you keep telling somebody else it's not that serious, after a while, you're going to convince yourself it's not that serious. Even if you were trying not to argue at that point, even if you were not trying to cause a conflict too much, feel like you're nagging, whatever, all right? You soon enough, right? It's like the fake, like you start to tell yourself, if you tell your partner it's not that serious, after a while, you're not. So imagine a conflict when anything that your person is already about to bring up to you, you've already convinced yourself, because you kept telling them it's not that serious, that nothing that they bring to you is serious, right? Think about that toxicity on that level. It's crazy. All right, going to the comments real quick. So Miss Lee say holds in a lot. I'm going to come to that in a second. I'm going to go to the next comment. Interesting perspective, especially if you believe in unconditional love. So I'm going to go back to Miss Lee. So listen. I got about 4 minutes left, but I'm going to try to jump into some question and answers. All right, so he says, it's to keep from hurting me, but I'm a big girl, I can handle it. Plus, I would rather you tell me the truth and it hurt like hell, period. Now, there's two aspects to that, Mrs. Lee, sorry. There's two aspects to that. One, there's some healing behind that kind of communication for him, where he's saying, like, I don't want to tell you because it's going to hurt you, right? Like, something that he has to work on is just being an effective communicator. A real quick way to even solve that is a quick hitter. Ask him to do it in a different way besides talking. Okay? Ask him to write it down, write an email, send a long text, draw a picture. I don't care. Whatever it is, right? Ask him to communicate it in a different way, see if it works for him. And then go on and use those same like that same type of skill set for future conversations to kind of get him to express. Start with something small. All right. And as far as like, yeah, you're a big girl, I understand, like, yeah, like you get it, but I'm gonna lay that other second level to it. A lot of us say that I'm good, I'm an adult, like I ain't, like it's whatever. But you will most likely be faced with a decision. Okay, if somebody says to keep that from you and they keep something that says a possibility that they might hurt you, you might be faced with a big decision. So you need to prepare yourself mentally for that. All right. See that. So Toya. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to Paper's comment about if you believe, and especially if you believe in unconditional love. Yeah, like think about it. There's so many levels to what people think unconditional love, and to be honest, like I've never really understood it until I had a child. Okay, it's because like no matter what happens, this little boy still loves me, no matter what goes on, bro. It's not like I'm an evil person. It's just like life changing things. It's like he just like, unconditionally, like there's no spark taken from his eye when it comes to me as his father. You understand what I'm saying? But people in adult relationships lose that sense and sensibility in so many ways. Trauma, history, media. We get too desensitized to actually feel like unconditional, right? We just have to know it's unconditional because we're actually setting our minds to breaking outside of boundaries. Man, what they did was really crazy, but I love them so much. I really want to help them with that. You know, something to that kind of nature. Queen says, yes, I used to write my dad letters and we lived in the same house, but I was scared to communicate with him. But I'm saying you made a huge step like that, right? And that particularly could be something like an apology. Like, I really don't feel like there's a wrong way to apologize. Okay? Change the narrative, my people. Change the narrative. I think this thing gonna cut off soon, but listen, I'm gonna jump back on just in case anybody got questions and everything. And I'm gonna post this. Okay? Change the narrative. If you think that, oh, they ain't apologized the right way. No, they didn't apologize in the way of your language. Drop that gem. We dropped the 5 apology languages. No matter how, if somebody, I don't care even if they open their mouth just to say it, text it, write it, right? People think about their love languages too. Like sometimes they might go straight. You might be a person who likes to receive gifts and they might go straight to buying you flowers. They say sorry. Start with that. because they might be making the attempt. Don't shut it all the way down. But even if it's something of a apology language where you still want them to verbally say it to your face, let them know. Thank you for the flowers. Right? But it would really actually be helpful if you had came home and said, I'm sorry to my face. You feel me? That's what it's all about. Like I said, I don't think it's any really wrong way to say I'm sorry. It's just the way it's said in your language. All right? Hold that thought. Now, if you people have been in the room, I hope you were taking notes. I'm going to post this. I'm going to definitely put this up. I'm going to come back. I'm not going to record the second drop. I'm gonna just pull up on something nice and warm to drink, maybe some tea or something, get my voice right, and be ready to answer any questions. I'm gonna tell y'all again real quick. If you want this information about apology languages, this is strictly from my business. This is strictly from the organization that trained me to be a life coach. Let me know. All right. We need right collection. Look, I'm trying to tell you. If you that's something I could do. My fault, y'all. That's something I could do. I'm gonna put it on there, Cash App, when I drop it. But I'm gonna, if you DM me, go to my page, email me, whatever you need. I could call you, walk you through this. It's 2 connected documents, so it has questions on it to kind of figure out what your apology language is. I can walk you through it, talk you through it. There's another stage that comes after this. I got to work with it, y'all, so just let me know. All right? Yo, I just recently changed my Cash App to my business Cash App. So I don't even remember the thing, to be honest with you. But listen, if you need it, you want to drop them love. Because honestly, yo, before I even go and drop off this real quick, I'm actually taking donations for 2 things, man. I'm taking donations through my organization for my baby girl, Sequoia Turner, that lost her life to senseless gun violence. They actually did start a fund, but I want to do it through my organization, not just my person, so I can help get a group of people to be a part of this donation. So when you see me post that, please just send something over. That's definitely one of my students. I taught her brother this year. It was a hard loss for me. I'm going to be donating to that. My organization is going to be sponsoring a student of the month. And coming up, since school has started back very, very soon, this particular student will be getting funds to help with them to get technology for their house, help parents pay for cable, internet service and stuff like that. So please, when you look up, when you see my posts for these donations, please, from the bottom of your heart, drop that for these kids, okay? I'm coming back. Like I said, if I'm coming back for part 2, it's just gonna be for questions, answers. If you want to ask Kobe something, I got your answers right here. If you need me to repeat the 5 apology language, I got you. All right. Voice up, Kobe Sincere. I'm out, yo. But I'll be back.